Hi there, beautiful humans, beautiful people, wherever you are and whatever you are doing in this moment. You've popped and come across this video. I thought I wanted to drop in with a couple of things that I've been musing on today. One thing really, but maybe a couple. We'll see what comes through as I start talking. So yesterday on the new moon video, the first video for my daily intentions to show up and share wisdom and experience and stuff, I wanted to obviously follow through with that today, with that intention. So on yesterday's video, I spoke about the Complaint Free World book and the challenge that I'm doing in a membership that I'm part of, a Wealth Vibe membership, that's all about releasing complaints and the energy of complaining. And specifically in the Wealth Vibe, it's around money, abundance, finances, career, whatever it is that money, however it is that money comes to us, or however we feel money goes out from us, and creating within ourselves like this detox of releasing complaining. So that's that. I mentioned that in yesterday's video, which I'll put a link to it somewhere. So that was yesterday's little intention, and the book is all about the Complaint Free World by Will Bowen. Is about tapping into where we complain literally in our whole lives and going through life without making complaints. Watch yesterday's video to get more details on that, but this is my positivity ring. I will find a better name for it. Not a complaint. So on to that. So I obviously, when you're reflecting on the language that you use in everyday life that brings up these energies of lack or anxiety or worry or whatever, you begin to just take notice of conversations going on around you and of your own reasons why you might complain and what it is that comes up. And one of the things that's I've noticed and observed from reading what other people are experiencing doing the challenge in Taylor's Wealth Vibe, and my own the situations that bring up for me the complaining energy. You got to observe the world around you and see, observing other people watching anyway. And one of the things that obviously comes up is people complain for connection, don't we? That's certainly where I know I've got caught up in suddenly complaining about something where I didn't even feel like complaining about something in the first place, but then suddenly I'm I'm complaining about this and I didn't really mean to complain about this. And one of the things that's mentioned in the book and that Taylor mentioned when she was going through the details of this challenge with us was don't choose to start complaining somewhere about how hard it is to not complain. And I have to say, I found it particularly hard to not complain. Maybe because I'm generally an optimistic person, an optimistic glass half full kind of girl, I find it relatively easy to not complain on a sort of big scale. And I've done a lot of inner work on seeing the benefits in a situation, seeing the positives in a situation, and going, what's the lesson in this for me when there's a situation that's not pleasant, or parts of mental health awareness and mindfulness practice and spirituality that come through for me. So But yeah, observing people. And we complain for connection. And I was sat on the bus today taking my 13-year-old to her flying squad alternative education provision that she goes to 2 days a week, and listening to people chatting on the bus, as you do. And it's like, people just want connection. It makes conversation. If you can say, I've got this pain, or I've got this ache, or I've got this going on in my life, and we relate to that. So we're like, oh yeah, I've got this and I've got that, and it gets to like, it's okay to share situations that don't feel good. So if you are in pain, or if someone's died, or if someone's sick, to share that is perfectly acceptable. It's when we share or choose to, rather than be like, or like, oh, I'm really sad to hear that. Is there anything I can do to help? Creating positive energy through the situation that someone's going through, to be there for them and be supportive. It's like, oh no, that's so terrible. I had this happen to me. I had this happen to me. Or this has been my experience. Oh yeah, I've got this ache and I've got this pain. And this is observations. I'm definitely not complaining. What I was reflecting on, and what I was bringing here to reflect on for anyone who's interested in watching, is, why do we find complaining so easy? Why do we fall into sharing complaints with each other as a form of connection, and not sharing highlights and good things? And that's like, where can I affect change, I guess, through my own process? Because this is the point of the book, Complain for Your World book, is to affect change in the world. Where can we share joy, share happiness, connect that way? And are we at a point in humanity where we share the downs that we're going through because we feel like that's what's reflected to us from the media and from like the information that's fed us through the news and stuff like that, that there's a lot of negativity, there's a lot of bad shit going on, and so we have to, like, we can't be happy, we can't be creating better, we can't be like ecstatic and joyful about everything, because like there's people really suffering in the world. And I think we could really affect change in the world if we actually put this into practice even more. And that's like, this is why I am determined to set this standard for myself. And if all I do is affect changing my own girls, who I've noticed, I like listening to them talk, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I hear my complaints in their words, and I'm like, goodness me, like, this is how they've grown up. This is literally what they've grown up with. The positivity that they may have been born with, and they were all quite like positive toddlers, positive little people when they were really, really small. But yeah, there's this element of like, what did I do? How can I change this? Because that's what it's all about. That's like, making a statement of dissatisfaction that might slide down into a realm of utter complaint comes, it's perfectly acceptable. It's cool to say, right, this is my observations of myself, but what's the action I'm taking to affect that change? So that's my little thing for today, is how can I start to raise the conversations that I hear, that I'm part of? Where can I affect that change that I want to see in the world, in the greater, in the greater sphere? Because I start with myself and with the words in my head. So I think I mentioned yesterday that like the challenge doesn't mean that you have to switch the ring. If you've not seen today's video, this ring, if I complain, I switch it onto the hand, and I have moved it today. I am back at day one. You move it to just to keep, and it was like when I was moving it around this morning, as I found myself complaining a few times, I was like, yeah, that's the point. The point is it gets to the point where you're so observant of how many times you complain that's why there's a physical aspect to bringing you aware of your complaints. And I if I can affect this change in just within my family, where we're not complaining at each other about every situation. We come when my girls, my teenagers particularly, bring a situation to me, I can help them affect change for themselves. So they're just saying, I have this problem, what can I do? Because that's the level of complaint that's acceptable. To then be like, well, what's the lesson? Where do you learn something from that? And then that snowballs. And then because we literally attract to us the things that we put out, that's, the law of cause and effect and the law of attraction. If we are putting that solution-based and action-based energy into the world, we will see that reflected to us. And we'll either naturally draw away from the people that we find ourselves complaining around, or they'll naturally pull away from us, because that also happens. Or they'll come to us for positivity and complain to somebody else, or stop complaining altogether, which is the basis of, this is not about like the whole fake positivity that can often be depicted in the love and light new age type of spirituality and mindfulness. It is about affecting change. It is about creating better for humanity at large, not just to cover over the problems, because that doesn't actually solve anything. Covering over the problems doesn't solve things. It just actually buries them within us. And as an emotional health practitioner, that's exactly what I don't want people to do, because pushing our emotions down makes us physically sick. So that's my little thoughts. And if you want to take something away from this, it's how can you, if you decide to maybe just reflect on your own ways and times of complaining, particularly around family, because I think that's obviously our family are the people that we spend the most time with. So our family are most likely who we complain to the most. And what I've noticed for myself is that even when I'm not really putting something out there with a complaint, there's like this tone to my voice that's complaining, whiny, like, oh my God. And that's it's been interesting to reflect on that and be right. This is what I want to change. This is why I want to change it, because actually this has probably been something ongoing in my life since my own teenage years. Is like that way of speaking, which would have been a reflection of how I was brought up. I know that the way that I spoke as a teenager definitely came from the way I had been spoken to and the way I had been treated. This is why we perpetually change and bring things on, like generationally continue cycles. And it's time to put an end to all of that. It is time to break those cycles. That is why a lot of us are incarnated on earth at this time, So there we go. Can you affect change in yourself, in your own being? Because I definitely feel better generally for reflecting on this. Like, really, that was an energy of complaining that you put out there just in my head. That was like, how can I reframe that so that I can actually, when I was walking home after my day in Manchester the other day with my eldest daughter, we were tired. We'd been walking around the city all day. I was like, I don't want to walk through the town where we live back home, giving out to my daughter who was complaining, because she's got her reasons to feel like she needs to complain. How can I not feed her complaints? Right, what can I do? And I was like, right, okay, keep going over what we'd got, how amazing it'd been. I had my ring. I was really tuning into how powerful it was that I had this physical thing on my thumb, which was there. And also, it's super pretty. It's rainbow hematite. If you've not watched today's video, it's rainbow hematite. And it's like so nice. It was sunny, it was beautiful. I was like, all of these things, the rhododendrons are out, and I love rhododendrons. And it's like, oh, yes. And then started to pass that on to her, like, well, like, just go over in your head the things that you've got. And, she was able to, she brought up a couple of things, like, because she'd not got things that she wanted. And I was like, yeah, but think about all the things that you've got, and you've still got money left to go in the shops here tomorrow and look at her. Like, she's like, she did pick up. I was like, yes, if you can do that, and if that can be a change that we affect more frequently to each other, you start with yourself, and then with those closest to you, and then it gets passed on and grows exponentially, and we can affect change, and we can know that it's okay to be happy in a world full of chaos that's growing and beaming, ready for expansion and growth. And that's really what it's all about. We are here to affect change. If you're alive on earth right now, you are likely here to affect big change, even if you don't know it, and even if your own life is quite challenging. There's still gold in there. And if you don't know what that gold is, hey, drop me a message or book a session with me, a free chat, just to go over, like, what could be a reframe for you. Bring me a problem, and I will help you reframe it, and I will take that challenge on with delight, actually, to help to reframe, and if not, give you some EFT to help you reframe it for yourself. So yeah, that's it. That's my little bit for today. Have a beautiful day. We are blessed with sunshine here, and it is amazing to feel like there is spring here with us in the north of England. So enjoy your day. Practice not complaining, releasing the complaints, moving past them, or taking action on any that are really, really big enough to have action taken on them. Have an amazing day. Give me a little thumbs up. Hit the little subscribe button and ring the bell. All that usual YouTube stuff. It really does help, especially as I'm here trying to grow this channel into something. And I will see you all again very soon. Bye.